Episode 04 of 1001 Stories of Relationship at the Family Table. It was late Friday afternoon when the doorbell finally rang. Dragging herself across the living room, Olusi reluctantly unlocked the door, already expecting her mother. Andrew, her husband, had invited both their mothers over for the short weekend holiday, hoping it would mend the strained relationships in the family. For Olusi, the thought felt heavy. She opened the door and found her mother standing there with a stiff expression. They stared at each other for a moment before Olusi stepped aside without offering a greeting. Her mother entered quietly, surveying the living room. "Where is my grandchild?" her mother asked. Distracted and irritated, Olusi didn't respond. She walked into the kitchen to continue preparing food. When she returned with a drink for her mother, she placed it beside her silently and left again. The tension in the house was thick. Soon after, Andrew arrived with his mother. They greeted Olusi's mother warmly and began talking in low tones. From the kitchen, Olusi could hear their voices but paid them no attention. Carrying a tray of snacks into the living room, she muttered under her breath about how Andrew had ruined her weekend. As she stepped into the room, all three of them, Andrew, his mother, and her mother, fell silent and turned to look at her. Confused by their sudden quiet, she greeted Andrew's mother without waiting for a response, dropped the snacks, and left. Moments later, Andrew entered the kitchen. "Why are you like this?" he asked, genuinely confused. "What do you mean?" Olusi replied. Andrew shook his head and walked away, annoyed and frustrated. Olusi followed him to their bedroom. "What offense have I committed now?" she asked. Andrew looked at her. "Has your mother seen her grandchild?" "Of course not. Bennett is still asleep. It hasn't been long since my mother arrived. What's the matter?" "Your mother said she asked, but you ignored her," Andrew said. Shocked, Olusi insisted her mother hadn't mentioned anything about the baby. But Andrew was already irritated, especially as she began complaining about him inviting guests without checking if it was convenient for her. "Guest? You're calling your own mother and my guest?" he asked. He walked out, leaving her sitting on the bed, overwhelmed. Later, Andrew's mother knocked softly on the door. "Olusi, can you come and assist us in the kitchen?" she asked. Olusi said nothing. Eventually, exhaustion weighed her down and she fell asleep. When she woke hours later, it was dark. The nightmare she had had, one involving her family, left her trembling. Beside her, Andrew slept peacefully. She checked on Bennett and found him still asleep. Rory nodded at her. Had he eaten? She went to the kitchen, intending to give him the food she had prepared, only to find his container empty. Someone had already fed baby Bennett. Even more surprising, the dinner she had prepared earlier remained untouched, neatly covered. A wave of guilt washed over her. Her mother, her mother-in-law, and her husband hadn't eaten because of her behavior the night before. She sank onto the stool, staring at the neatly arranged dishes. In the dream, her family had been in danger. Yet, here they were, safe and peaceful. She realized how grateful she felt to have them alive and well, and how she had pushed them away in reality. Quietly, she whispered to herself, I'm grateful for my family, and I'm sorry. A voice behind her made her jump. Who are you talking to? Andrew stood at the kitchen door, watching her with concern. He stepped closer, gentle but confused. Is everything okay? Olusi wiped her eyes and gave a small trembling smile. I'm sorry for pushing our family away. It won't happen again. I'm truly grateful to have you all in my life. I know no one is perfect, not even me. But we are still a family. And I should cherish and be happy to have each of you around. Andrew stared at her for a moment, amazed. Without a word, he pulled her into his arms. They held each other, finally at peace. The next morning, Olusi woke early and prepared breakfast. Andrew had explained that no one ate the night before, because they were hurt by how unhappy she seemed to have them there. She wanted to fix that, especially after the nightmare she had. As Andrew's mother walked into the living room, Olusi met her with a warm greeting, something she had never done before. Her mother-in-law blinked in surprise, but returned the greeting. It wasn't right for me to behave that way yesterday. I'm truly sorry. You've raised a good man. Thank you, Olusi said sincerely. Her mother-in-law's mouth parted slightly, then softened into a smile. I wasn't angry. I was only worried you didn't want me around. Olusi invited her to the dining table, and her mother-in-law accepted, walking behind her. Go and apologize to your mother too, she added gently. She refused to eat last night. I will, Olusi said. She went to her mother's room and knocked softly. Mom, are you awake? When she entered, she was shocked to see her mother packing. Mom, what are you doing? I'm leaving, her mother said quietly. You don't want me here. Olusi sat beside her. Mom, I love you. Please stay. I regret how I acted. I'm grateful you're here. Her mother paused, surprised. What's going on? Why are you suddenly reciting poems for me? She asked, half joking. Tears welled in Olusi's eyes, and her mother's expression softened. I'm sorry too, her mother said. We may clash sometimes, but you'll always be my child. They embraced, and Olusi said, I already made breakfast. Let's go and eat. Yes, of course, I'm hungry, her mother replied. They walked to the dining room together, where Andrew, his mother, and baby Bennett were already seated, waiting. Her mother greeted everyone warmly and quickly picked up Bennett, showering him with affection. As they ate together, talking, laughing, passing dishes around, Olusi looked around the table and felt something she hadn't in a long time: peace. From that day on, she was grateful for her family, and slowly, quietly, the relationships in her home began to heal and flourish. Keep enjoying the episodes of 1001 Stories of Relationship at 1001 Stories of Relationship.wordpress.com.